No,
So
approximately.
it should be 3 because if suppose he dies,
It's also 3 crores.
3 crores.
Okay. Then what should be his medical insurance cover per person?
Maths
Maths put a number. Doesn't need not be right or wrong. Just put a number.
Okay. Per person.
Per person.
50 lakhs?
Per person or altogether? 10 lakh per person.
Okay, 10 lakhs per person.
Okay. Any other volunteers? Any number?
Sir. Sir, ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ അങ്ങ് പറയും.
So 50,000.
പ്രഭാകർ സാർ പറയൂ.
സാറേ എനിക്ക് ക്യാപിറ്റൽ എനിക്ക് പറയാൻ 3 കോഴ്സ് ആണ് സാറേ.
Okay.
At the time of retirement. Insurance coverage എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത് ഫാമിലി സാർ അത് ടേം ഇൻഷുറൻസ് ആണോ?
Term insurance. When he dies, what money?
Term insurance സാർ 1 crore term insurance വേണം. മീൻസ് അതിന്റെ നമ്മുടെ മന്ത്ലി എക്സ്പെൻസിന്റെ 20 into 20 ആണ് ഞാൻ കണക്കാക്കിയത്.
Okay.
പിന്നെ മെഡിക്കൽ ഇൻഷുറൻസ് 5 lakhs.
5 lakhs. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any third option?
Mindu sir.
Into sir, maths.
I'm an art student.
No problem. It's just your gut feeling. I'm not, because we are not calculated. Discuss it. It's just your gut feeling.
I've actually gone through this thing, but then I calculated it with the savings. So it came up to 1.5 crores. So that's what I calculated.
Okay. And what should be his insurance cover?
Insurance cover, and can keep it around 1 crore, sir.
1 crore. Okay. Okay. And term insurance?
We are on 40 lakhs per person.
40 lakhs per person. Okay. Very good. Okay. So let us keep it aside. We'll come back to this later. Okay, ബാക്കി എല്ലാവരും നിങ്ങളെ കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്ത് തന്നെ വെക്കുക. Let us calculate and let's see how it works out. Okay, so recap from yesterday. നമ്മൾ ഇന്നലെ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത this course is about taking you from the ground zero where I assume that you don't understand anything about financials, because I had made this course for people who had just started off their financial career, and then slowly I extended this to people who are in their 30s and 40s and beyond. So my intent was to take you from this level to the first step of the financial journey, so that you are aware of what are the options available, how you should think about your financial journey, and what makes you comfortable, so that you can take your financial journey towards a success. My intent is not to make you successful or give you any financial advice. It is only to take you up to the first level of financial journey, right? So the thing is, I don't know if you've seen this ad or this board, and it is available in a lot of construction sites. It says use right tool for the right job in the right way. Okay, we can change this for a financial journey also, saying that use the right financial tool for the right goals in the right way. Thing is, you don't use your fork to drink your soup. Okay, so you cannot blame if you drink soup with your fork and then you blame that you don't have the right tool, or the fork is bad. That's not the intent. All the financial tools are good, all the goals are good, but only thing is you have to match the right goal with the right tool in the right way. Only then you become financially successful. Then we went to the introduction. I told you this is not a financial advice. I'm not trying to give you anything, telling you where to invest, how to invest, nothing like that. We're talking about the whole journey, how you enjoy your financial journey, and not the destination, or not the goals, or not anything else, or not where you want to. I will not advise you where to invest money. Intent is to talk you through some basic concepts which we all know, which we all studied in our schools, colleges, from our experience, and channelize those concepts towards financial management. So that is the whole intent. Then we went on with the agenda. We talked about the spending habits, investment concepts, asset types, goals. Today we'll talk about insurance, investment types, risk management strategies, and then I'll introduce to you a goal planning tool which I've created. Then we went to the quote, and then we talk about the spending habits, that we can be anywhere in the spectrum in the spending habits, and nothing wrong or right in that. The only thing is that we should be by our choice and not by chance, that we are in any part of this spectrum. Then I talked about the hare and the tortoise story, the extension of it, where we discussed that the life is not a race with others. So we are not going to chase others' dreams. So somebody makes a house, we should make a bigger house. Somebody buys a car, we have to buy a bigger car. Somebody buys an iPhone 12, you buy iPhone 13. So that is always, this race will never end. So it has to be a race within ourselves. We have to be a better person when we get up tomorrow morning, financially, emotionally, personally, everything. So it's always a race within us, not with a race with others. So only then you're going to be financially successful. So, or successful in life. So, and then we discussed about the salary part, where we discussed that there are three major pillars of our finance. One is we have to ensure that we get the best salary possible. And only getting best salary is not enough. We have to ensure that we save as much as possible. And only saving is not enough. We have to invest it intelligently and get the maximum returns possible as per our convenience. It's not. It's not. I'm not saying that you should be greedy and try to get a lot of what do you call high returns. But if you chase high returns, you'd be highly stressed. So reasonably, you have to analyze the products reasonably and try to get invested properly and get reasonable returns so that you're financially successful. And all three are connected by discipline. Then we discussed about some key terms, where we discussed about the inflation, that if we don't invest our money and keep it idle, it is going to lose its value. So we have to grow our money at least at par with the inflation. Only then we are going to keep the value of the money we have earned intact. If you don't invest anywhere, keep it idle, it is going to lose its value over a period of time. Then we discussed about what is liquidity, like how soon we can convert some asset into cash. Then we discussed about debt and how not to fall into a debt trap and not to be a modern day slave. So that's what we discussed here. So this essentially means that we cannot spend more than what we earn. So we have to plan everything. We have to plan our goals, plan our investments.
Pradeep sir, please mute, sir. Pradeep sir, please mute. Pradeep sir. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we should not fall into a debt trap. We have to plan our goals, plan our investments well in advance, and then invest. Then taking impulsive decisions and buying many things, and then fall into a debt trap. So that's what we discussed. And then we discussed who is an investment consultant, and then the list of people who are not investment consultants, basically parents, friends, relatives, bank executives, insurance agents, telecallers. So at least parents, friends, and relatives are positive. They want your success, but bank executive, insurance agents, telecallers, they want the success of their company, not your success. So please, I'm not telling not to believe them, take their advice, but do your analysis before you put your hard-earned money into anything. Then we talk about SIP, systematic investment plan, equated monthly installment, capital preservation, capital appreciation. And then we discussed about stock market. So stock market, my view was the stock market of a country is directly proportional to its GDP growth. So if you believe that India will grow, there's no way that the stock market will go down. It also has to grow so that India can grow. So the companies in India is going to help India grow. So if you believe the story that India is going to progress over a period of time in the future, we can safely invest in the stock market. Again, it brings back to the question, like we are talking about investment and not trading. We discussed about the difference between investment and trading with an example of a tomato farmer and a tomato trader. The thing is, I'm not talking that trader is a wrong profession or bad profession or anything like that. If you want to be a trader, you have to be trained as a trader. So without getting properly trained or properly knowing how to trade, please don't put your money into it, because 98% of the people lose money doing trading. Investment is a safer option, but it's a long-term option. So a long-term option in stock market terms, I'm talking 7 to 10 years or 12 years or 20 years. So if you invest today, you should not be expecting the returns at least for 7 to 10 years. So don't try to buy today, sell tomorrow, or like you see the market going down, you start panicking. You see a lot of ads, like a lot of news, like 1.56 lakh crore investors wealth wiped out, somebody sitting with a hand on the head. This is common thing which you see in all the news. But nothing like this happens in the investor world. Like for me, if something like the stock market goes down, it's an investment opportunity for me, because I'm getting a stock price at a discount. So why shouldn't I invest in that? So I'll be happy that stock market goes down. Okay, because I know if I'm investing in something which I believe that will grow in future, I will wait for the stock market to come down, right? So I'll not be sitting here like this. I'll be smiling and will be happy and trying to find out some cash to invest. So this is not the right story which comes in the news. So don't fall for this. Nobody's wealth gets wiped out, right? See, if the stock market goes down, nobody will sell it, right? It's a notional loss. It's not an actual loss. So, and just a fruit of thought for you. But invest only if you believe in stock market. Don't invest in stock market if you don't believe in stock market or any other asset. Unless you believe in it, please don't invest in it. Then we discussed about the compound interest and how compound interest, even 100 rupees investment per day over a period of 38 years will give you a 1 crore return. And how if you start investing late by just 5 years, the returns would be reduced by almost 40%. So we discussed that we should advise people, especially youngsters, to start investing at the earliest. And then we discussed about this percentage. This is called the IRR or CAGR, and how it has to be calculated, and how we have to calculate the IRR for different investment types, so that we know what is the actual returns and not fall for the advertisements and what is told to us or shown to us, because all these are marketing. So please take out the marketing part and take out all those noise, as we call it in telecom world. Like we have to take out the noise and you just look at what is the real returns we are going to get. Only then you invest. And as a thumb rule, there are only 2 types of investment. One is market linked and one is a guaranteed return. If it's a guaranteed return, you will never get a return more than 5 to 6%. So we can be 100% sure that if somebody is giving you a guaranteed return, it's 100% within 5 to 6%. Because nobody can give you more than that, because they have to earn at least 7 to 8% return to give you 5 to 6%. So if a loan company is giving you a housing loan for 7%, they cannot give you a return more than 5% on your investment. So that has to be very clear. There's no free lunches in financial world. Nobody's going to give you free. Nobody is there to give you charity. It's everything is paid for. So there's no free lunches. Then we discussed about evolution of job market, how we have gone from a risk-averse society to now currently there is risk in everything and we have to manage the risk. Then we discussed about the investment concept of needs, wants, and investment. And we have to ensure that over a period of time, at least the need should be within 50% of your salary in hand, and at least 20% should go into investment, and try to maximize this as far as possible as per your convenience. And then at least put 6 months to 1 year of your living expense into an emergency fund, just for the period where if you are without job for some period of time, you can use this money to fund your needs so that your investment bucket does not get affected and your compounding does not get affected. Then we discussed about the different asset classes available. We talked about cash, fixed income, equity, real estate, commodities, artifacts, cryptos. And I said that for, especially for youngsters, you have to invest in yourself to upgrade yourself. Then we discussed about the risk and return, low risk, low return. You take high risk, you'll get high returns with high possibility of loss. But there is nothing in the world where you take low risk and you'll get high returns. Okay, and then the two types of investments are, one is a linear growth asset, which is like returns are assured, low growth, low volatility, low risk, and volatile asset where returns are not assured, high growth, high volatility. Short term, we definitely have a risk, but long term, it grows. Okay, and then we discussed about the different goals we can have in life. We can divide it into a short term, mid term, and long term goal. And then, as per my opinion, for a short-term goal, you would put most of the money into a linear growth asset and not into a volatile asset, because in short term, if you want to put the money back, a possibility is that it would have gone down also. So you don't want to take the risk. So if you want to play it more safe, you put most of the money into a linear growth asset. For a long-term goal, you can put most of the money into a volatile asset. So that's where we ended yesterday, and we discussed about these three questions. We'll come back to these questions later. Just one exercise, like if there's a cash flow, somebody says you invest 2.5 lakhs for 5 years, and after 20 years, you'll get 30 lakhs back. You calculate the IRR, the return, you'll calculate, like you just put a IRR and you calculate, you put the range and you'll get the rate of return as 5.27%. So this is how you calculate IRR. Clear, right? There's nothing, anybody has any doubt on this? I hope you guys are comfortable with Excel, right? Anybody who doesn't know Excel at all, except VJG?
Sir, എവിടെയാണ് ഫിക്സഡ് ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റ് ഈ കോമ്പൗണ്ട് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിൽ ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സ്ഥലം എവിടെയാ?
ഫിക്സഡ് ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റിൽ എപ്പോഴും നമുക്ക് കോമ്പൗണ്ട് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് തന്നെയല്ലേ കിട്ടുക മാഡം?
അല്ലല്ല, നമുക്ക് കോമ്പൗണ്ട് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ ഒക്കെ സിംഗിൾ ആയിട്ടല്ലേ കിട്ടുന്നുള്ളൂ.
നമ്മള് ഈ
സിംഗിൾ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് അല്ലേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഏരിയ ഒന്ന് സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് പറയാവോ? കോമ്പൗണ്ട് ആയിട്ട് ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റ് ഫിക്സഡ് ആയിട്ട് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സ്ഥലം.
Sorry, I say the compound interest means principal plus interest, then total principal increasing.
അതെ,
5 lakh deposit first 1 year.
Correct.
Then 1 year interest 12% ആണെങ്കിൽ 550,000.
Okay.
Then 5 lakh 50,000. Then again 1 year deposit. That means compound. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
അപ്പം ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇയറിൽ നമ്മൾ 5 lakh ഇട്ടാൽ അതിൽ 60,000 നമുക്ക് റിട്ടേൺസ് കിട്ടി 12% ആണെങ്കിൽ. സെക്കൻഡ് ഇയർ യുൽ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ദിസ് 5,60,000 ആൻഡ് യുൽ ഗെറ്റ് 12% ഓൺ ദാറ്റ്.
നമ്മൾ റീ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴല്ലേ, അറ്റ് എ ടൈമിൽ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു സ്ഥലം കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് വെച്ചതാ.
നമ്മളിപ്പം ഏത് ബാങ്കിൽ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിലും എവറി ഇയർ ദേ ഗോയിങ് ടു റിന്യൂ യുവർ ഫിക്സ്ഡ് ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ദേ വിൽ റിന്യൂ അറ്റ് ദ എമൗണ്ട് which is due to you. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് 5 lakh ഇട്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇയർ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവർ 5,60,000 ആണെങ്കിൽ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇയർ ദിൽ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് അഗൈൻ അവർ റിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ദിൽ റിന്യൂ 5,60,000 unless of course you take out the 60,000 to your bank account.
അല്ല, റേറ്റ് കുറഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ ആ റേറ്റിലുള്ള
അതെ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അത് ശരിയാണ്. Rate പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിലേ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. We'll come to that. We'll come to the different opportunities available. We'll come to that. Okay. So now living expense. Now living expense, for example, if the inflation rate is 6%, and if today's we have something like 25,000 rupees per month, namala living expense innatha date il aanengil, assuming that there's a person who is around 40 years old. Okay. So what will be the living expense next year? We are talking about into 6%. Sorry. We put this into bracket 1 plus this. Okay. Well, next year his living expense is going to be 26,500 rupees, assuming that the inflation is 6%. So going forward, when he retires at the age of 60, his living expense from 25,000 would have increased to 80,000 rupees. Okay, and this is when he will be retiring. Around, I am assuming that he retires at the age of 60. And then going forward, like the inflation does not stop when he retires. And when he's, say, around 90 years old, his monthly expense would be 4,60,000 rupees.
For the
So-
same standard of living as
Assuming that you're maintaining the same standard of living and similar expenses. Okay, so your living expense is going to increase at least 6% per month, right? So as
Per
per the
year,
inflation, per year.
medical expense കൂടൂലേ ഏജ് കൂടും
മെഡിക്കൽ എക്സ്പെൻസ് കൂടും, നിങ്ങളുടെ children's education expense കുറയും. So there will be a lot of difference. Like I'm just assuming that everything remains same. Okay, so the point is that at the age of 90, when you'll be still living, you should have enough investment to give you 4,60,000 rupees per month as interest. Right now, like if you go and invest in something which gives you a pension of 5,000 rupees a month, it will look nice now that okay, 25,000 to 5,000 rupees pension gettunnundu. But if at the age of 90, for 4,60,000 rupees, you'll get only 5,000. It's not worth anything, right? Because you have to plan for that. So just to give you a context that the living expenses are increasing. Okay, it will increase. It may not increase at 6%. It may increase at maybe 4%, but still it is increasing. Even if I put it 4%, at the age of 90, you still need 1,77,000 rupees every month to live. So just to give you a fruit for thought. Okay, so that's how the living expense is going to increase. Now, let's calculate one goal, like assuming that this person, he gets a job at the age of 24 and he is a good person that he doesn't want to take an impulsive decision. So he wants to buy a car after 4 years. Generally, children I've seen, they want to get into a job and next day they want to buy a big car. So this person is slightly sensible. He doesn't want to buy the car in the first year. So how does he calculate his goal? So for example, he wants to buy the car 4 years from now, that is on 28th of April, 2026. Okay, so he wants to buy a car of value 8 lakh rupees. Yeah, 8 lakh rupees. So if you want to buy a car of 8 lakh rupees, he has to invest. So there's a short-term goal. So he'll be investing in something like a fixed deposit, because we decided that we'll take it only in a linear growth asset. So we won't put it in the stock market or anything. He'll put it into a linear growth asset. So if he has to buy a car for 8 lakh rupees, he has to invest at least 14,720 rupees every month in fixed deposit, so that after 4 years, he'll have 8 lakh rupees and he can go and buy the car. Like he'll give the whole money, he'll take the car. That is one option. Second option is that he'll decide, okay, I cannot save 14,000 rupees. It is too much for me today to just only save for the car. So let me decide to save only 4 lakh rupees for the car, and the balance 4 lakh rupees, I'll take a loan when I'm buying the car. That's also possible. So if he does that, then 4 lakh rupees, he has to save 7,300 rupees every month for the next 4 years. And when he has those 4 lakh rupees, he'll go and buy the car. And and when he takes the loan of 4 lakh rupees from the bank, he has to pay another 8,000 rupees to the bank as the loan repayment. And when he does this, he has to ensure that this 8,000 rupees is added to his needs bucket after 4 years. Okay, so he has to plan that. So your needs bucket is going to increase by 4,000 rupees, because that becomes your fixed expense every month. Right, so that's how you're going to calculate your goal. Clear?
$8,000.
8,000 will be added to your living expense. So if your living expense is 25,000, it will become 33,000 rupees. Right? Now, retirement planning. Okay, so let us take our exercise where we said this person is 35 years old. Okay, before that, we plan for everything. Like we'll have plan for marriage, house, buying a house, foreign trip, child's education, child's marriage. But retirement planning is something which most of us ignore. I'm not saying all of us, but most of us ignore, because at least I think a lot of people in Kerala, we dependent upon government jobs. Like everybody, like if I go and talk to anybody, I go to Kerala and talk to my cousins' children or like anybody, whoever has passed engineering, commerce, arts, anything, they are preparing for PSC. That's the only thing I hear. They say, I'm writing bank test, I'm preparing for PSC. So everybody wants a government job to get pension. Okay, that's the thought process. But we'll come to that. But all of us, we need to plan for our retirement so that we have enough capital in our place, not just in cash. It can be in real estate, it can be in gold, it can be in any other form, but enough money so that it will finance our retirement life, and you get the money for your living expense. As I showed you, the living expense is also going to increase. So you should have enough money which comes in every month for your medical expenses, for your living expenses, till you and your spouse expect, and you don't depend upon your children. So that's the whole idea. Now, how much money do you need for retirement? So let us take the same example which we took we did the exercise. So Mr. Manikutan, he is 35 years old. His annual expense is 35. How much? 50,000 into 12. His annual expense is 60,000 rupees. His retirement age, I'm putting it as 60 years. Life expectancy, I'm putting as 90 years for him and his wife. Okay, and currently he doesn't have any retirement corpus. He doesn't have any savings for his retirement. Okay, and I'm putting some more information, like inflation is 6%. Expected returns till retirement. So till retirement, whatever he saves, he'll be putting more aggressively. He'll earn 10% return. Okay, after retirement, he'll put it more conservatively. He'll put it at par with the inflation. So he will at least keep. He won't keep it. I'm assuming that he's not keeping it in the bank. At least he's putting in the FDs and other instruments where he gets 6% return. Okay, and so these are the assumptions I'm making. Okay, so with this assumption, his annual expense when he retires will be 2,57,000 rupees. Sorry, he needs 75,000 rupees every year. That is 2,14,000 rupees every month to keep the same lifestyle. Assuming that there's a 6% inflation. Now we can assume that okay, if he doesn't want to maintain the same lifestyle, he can do with 80% of what is here. So we can assume that okay, he'll live with 1,71,000 rupees every month. Even then, he'll need 6 crore 18 lakh rupees when he retires to maintain the same lifestyle, right? So he doesn't, like it's not 3 crore, it's not 1.5 crores. He needs 6 crore 18 lakh rupees. ₹6 crore 18 lakh rupees when he retires. Okay. Now, if he doesn't have any corpus, right now he doesn't save anything for his retirement, then from today, if he is a very conservative investor, he puts only in very safe instruments, only in fixed deposits or something like that, assuming that he'll get only 6% return, then every month from today, from the age of 35 to 60, he will have to save 90,000 rupees every month to get 6 crore 18 lakh rupees. If he's a slightly better investor and gets like he'll take more risk and try to get 10% return, then instead of 89,000 rupees, he has to save 46,000 rupees, 46,579 rupees every month to reach that 6,18,000 rupees. And if he's a much more aggressive investor with 12% return, then instead of 46,000, he can save 32,000 rupees every month. Okay, so retirement is a big thing. So all of us, we have to think about how much money we need when we retire. May not be so much, but still, just as an eye opener. Okay, so maybe our expenses are not 50,000, maybe lesser than that. But please, this is how you calculate how much you need when you retire. Clear? Any doubt or any shock? Anybody in shock? Okay. No, any questions on this?
This is people without pension, no?
സാർ ഈ
without-
എമൗണ്ട് ഒന്ന് കുറച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു റിട്ടയർമെന്റ് പ്ലാൻ ഈ സാധാരണക്കാരുടെ
The only thing is you have to reduce your monthly expense. That's the only
There's
thing we are
a-
calculating, right? There is nothing else we are adding. We are just putting your monthly expense. Or you cannot control the inflation. Okay, you cannot control the inflation. Inflation will be 6%. Okay, this will be maintained at 6%. Government also will ensure that it is 6%. And this is healthy for the economy also, because like I'm not going through the details of how it is calculated and things like that. But see, the US economy per capita income is here. India's per capita income is here. Okay, so the income has to grow here. Maybe see the salary increase in India is around 8 to 10% per year, whereas in US and Qatar the salary income increases 1 to 2%. You know why? Because they want to slowly, this economies has to increase and reach the US level. Only then all the interest rates are going to be the same. Till then, the inflation is still going to be there. So how and all, we can maybe, if somebody wants to know, just give me a call. We'll discuss about it in detail. But take it from me that the inflation will be around 5 to 6%, even more or slightly more or slightly less. It cannot go to 1 or 2% in the near future, in our lifetime at least. Okay. So the only thing we can control here, you cannot control your age, you cannot control your retirement age. Probably you can extend your retirement age. That is possible. But
You can reduce the life expectancy.
Yeah, you can control your life expectancy. That's one thing you can do. But then
No, we won't know when we die, but 90 is a bit too high for everyone.
No, this is
I
both
will
the
live up to
sources.
90.
No, but this is assuming that only one person is earning and the whole family is dependent upon that person. Okay, if both of them are earning, then it gets split, divided. So don't worry about it. Okay. So this is how you calculate your retirement corpus, how much you reap. Okay, next, going to the cash flow quadrant. So this is coming from a book by Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, so here what he talks about is there are 4 ways to produce income. One is you be an employee where you give your time, you invest time and you get money. Second is you become a self-employed where you give your time and get money. Third, you become a business owner. You invest in people and people make you money. But at the end of our end of our working life, when we retire, we have to reach here where we invest our money and money makes us money. And that is the objective. So we have to get into this quadrant and we have to train ourselves to reach this quadrant so that our money is utilized in the best possible way and we get our returns. Now, how do you do that? You have to invest in investment assets and as less as possible in liabilities. Now, what are the liabilities? Car is an asset or a liability? Anybody?
ലയബിലിറ്റി
Liabilities.
Because it's already there.
കാറ് വീട് മലയാളികളെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് വീട് ഭയങ്കര
Okay.
ഒരു
Car,
So
home.
house because everybody
ലയബിലിറ്റി
Malayali-
ലയബിലിറ്റി
It's a liability.
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Because this is where everybody starts arguing with me that house is an asset and not a liability. And I get a very big, I have to take a lot of time explaining to especially accountants that house is a liability, not an asset. Okay.
Yes.
Especially the house you live in. Okay. And നമ്മള് മലയാളീസിന്റെ പ്രശ്നം എന്താ പറഞ്ഞാല് ജോബ് കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അടുത്ത ദിവസം ചോദിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയ എപ്പോഴാ കല്യാണം കഴിക്കുന്നത്, വീട് എപ്പോഴാണ് വെക്കുന്നത്. പിന്നെ വീട് വെക്കുന്ന എന്താ, ഒരു 5 ബെഡ്റൂമുള്ള വീട് വെക്കും, മക്കൾക്കും എല്ലാരും വന്ന് താമസിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. And then there'll be only one old man and old woman staying there. They will be maintaining a 5-bedroom house. They won't be able to clean the house also, and that's how the whole house will be like. House will be like a ghost bungalow, you know? So that's how it is.
House in the sense you mean like flats, apartments, because is land asset or a liability, sir?
It depends. It depends upon how you invest. See, if you invest in a center of a town, the statistics say that if you invest in any major cities, Chennai, Bangalore, Calcutta, Madras, Hyderabad, any big cities, if you buy a land in the middle of the city, the growth rate is around 2% per year. Okay. If you put it maybe in some type B cities, type C cities, probably you'll get around 9 to 10% returns. You can actually see that. So there is a website. How do I go there? Okay, there's a website from magicbricks.com. So they are good in real estate. So you can see the different rates in different parts of the country. Slightly digressing because you asked the question. So let's maybe quickly go into that. Like for example, Kochi. Let me see. I don't know if they have some data for that. Let's see something like Quadrant. Okay, here you see this is for an apartment. They don't have the data for anything. But anyway, let's take an apartment also. This they have the data from 2010 to 2021. This is the rate per square feet. If you had bought the property on 10th of October, 2010, it would be 3,800 rupees square feet. Now you can get the same flat for 5,965 per square feet. Okay, so 2010, 3,800 square feet, and if you assuming that you buy this property. And I'll quickly calculate what is, and today it is 5,600, right? 5,600. So assuming that you buy the property on in 2010 and sell it today, so you would have spent 800 rupees per square feet, and now today if you had sold it, you would have got 5,600. Sorry. In 2010, you would have spent 3,800 rupees square feet to buy the property. Today, you would have spent 5,600. Today, you would have got 5,600 rupees. So what is the IRR you got? So you got 3% returns on your investment. Okay, this is how you're going to get the in property. Okay, we'll come back to the property part later, but just as a thought I was giving you. So house you live in, especially if it is not thought about in a proper way, is a liability. Okay. Similarly, most of the things which we buy, like iPhone, if you invest in, you put in MacBook, everything is a liability. So please ensure you invest in liabilities only if you actually need to do that. Plan properly, do it. If you can afford it as part of your wants bucket, do it. Otherwise, please don't put your hard-earned money into this, and because you have to plan a lot of money for your retirement. Okay.
So what's the main reason why you say that the house is a liability?
House, see, anything to be qualified as asset, it has to grow at least at par with the inflation. 6%.
Okay. Okay.
Or more. Only then it becomes an asset. So if you take a house and give it on rent, and rent also in India is around 2 to 3% of your house property. So if you have a 1 crore rupees house, you won't even get 2% of that as rent. Okay, so and then you have your maintenance charge, your legal expenses, everything included. So anything to be qualified as an asset, it at least has to have capital preservation or capital appreciation. So at least 6% it has to grow. Okay, if it grows, if you see a property which can grow at 6% or more, please do go and invest in that. That's an asset. But if you live in that and then you want to buy a big house and do that, then that's a liability. Okay.
Clear, sir.
Okay, good. Next is a very controversial thing we are talking about: insurance. Insurance is one of the most missold product in the world. Okay. Now, some questions. A school-going child, does he need an insurance or not? Anybody? I'm talking about life insurance. Here we are talking about 4 insurance: medical insurance, life insurance, property insurance, and vehicle insurance. So first we'll talk about life insurance. So life insurance is that you get the money. If somebody dies, you get the money. The problem is we don't want to talk about death. So that's why people don't talk about life insurance too much. But do you need? Does a school going
Life
child
insurance
need to
cover is
take a
not
life insurance?
required for the child.
Pardon?
No
Not
need, sir.
required.
No need.
Life
No,
insurance cover is not required
Not
for the
necessary, sir.
child.
No. Okay. An unmarried person with no job and doesn't have any dependence on him, does he need an insurance?
Oh, not necessary.
Okay. A married person with job, does they need an insurance?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely yes.
A retired person who doesn't have a job, is stopped working, does he need an insurance? He or she
No.
needs an insurance?
I don't think.
No, new insurance, no. What you already
Yes,
have,
sir.
it's a big
It is necessary,
liability.
sir.
Pardon?
It is necessary.
അതൊരു
Necessary.
കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ ക്ലാരിറ്റി കിട്ടുന്നില്ല.
Okay.
Sir,
Retired.
retired, when you meant retired, like,
He's no longer working, he's no longer earning. Does he
what about the
need-
dependents?
Dependents are there. Your wife
Okay.
will not die, right? She'll be there with you. Or your husband would be there. So
Okay.
does the person needs an insurance or not? Your children would be there, children has to get married. All those things are there. Because
No,
that
if
is
you
the part of
already
life.
have a few insurances, then don't take anything new once you
No,
retire.
but do you need a life insurance or not?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
probably for your spouse.
Okay. Let me give you my thought about it. See, when we talk about insurance, we talk about risk. Okay. Now, risk is an uncertain event which can have as a definition, it can have a positive or negative effect, but generally we talk about negative effect. So anything which is uncertain and can have a negative effect on us is a risk. And there are 4 basic risk mitigation strategies. One is called avoidance, that if there is a risk, try not to do things so that that risk event does not happen. But it cannot happen that you don't die. Okay, so that event does not happen. Second is risk acceptance. So that is, you accept that this risk will happen and you provision for that, and you make like something like, my father is 85 years old. If I had to take a medical insurance for him for 5 lakh rupees, I had to give a premium of 1.5 lakh rupees. So I feel it's not worth taking an insurance for him. I've accepted the risk. If something happens, I'll pay for it, but I will not take an insurance. Okay, so that is risk acceptance. Second is risk reduction and control. That is, like, I'll tell my father to eat good food, don't go out too much. Even if you go out, you wash your hand, ensure that he doesn't fall ill at all. So I'll try to reduce the impact of the risk. Fourth strategy is called risk transfer. That is, I'm going to transfer, if something happens, I'm transferring the risk to somebody else. So this risk transfer strategy is insurance, that you're transferring the risk to somebody else. Now, for example, your car insurance. What is the risk you're transferring? What is the risk?
If it is an accident,
The accident.
yeah,
What
then
is the risk?
someone is injured or the car is like damaged too much. So that risk
of accident.
cost for that.
Exactly. It is not the risk of accident you're transferring.
The cost.
It is the cost you will incur due to the accident.
Yeah.
The transfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maintenance
Cost for maintaining
or,
your car. That is what you're transferring. That is the cost you're transferring.
Okay.
Similarly,
the cost of repair and whatever compensation and all you have to give.
Yeah. So what is the insurance? What is the risk you're transferring in medical insurance?
The expenses, hospital expenses.
Correct. You're not transferring the risk of you falling ill. You're transferring the risk of medical expenses if you get admitted in a hospital. That amount, only that amount you're going to transfer, right? It's not the risk of you getting ill. You will get ill, right? Similarly, what is the risk you're transferring if you're taking a life insurance?
I'm dead. No, my life.
What is the risk? See, what is the risk?
ഒരാള് മരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വരുന്ന ആളുടെ ഏർണിങ്സ് ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുടുംബം മുന്നോട്ട് പോകില്ല. അപ്പൊ ആ പ്രോബ്ലം ബാലൻസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിട്ട്.
Exactly. Yeah. You nailed it at the you hit the nail at the head. You are taking an insurance so that if ningala earnings stop ആയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, that the effect of that on your family, that is the only thing you are insuring. You are not
Yeah.
ensuring your daughter's marriage at the age of 75. You are not ensuring your son's education at the age of 60 years, 65 years, nothing like that. You are ensuring the risk you are transferring is your salary risk or your earning risk on which your family is dependent on. It's very important that family is dependent. If family is self-sufficient, they have enough money to live. After your death, you don't have to take an insurance. Because even if you die, the family will take care of themselves and they'll have enough money to live their life. They cannot replace you. Insurance is not to replace you, right? It is only to replace your earning if you have financial dependent on you. Clear? That is my view. You can have a different view. If any one of you is an insurance agent, you will have a different view. Sorry for that. I'm not trying to counter that. I'm giving you my point of view. I hope it is acceptable. It seems logical, right? Anybody has a different opinion? Silence. Okay. I think it's okay, right? So in my view, a retired person who has stopped earning does not need to take an insurance. Okay. Definitely not a school-going child. So you'll see a lot of product which will sell you insurance for your son or daughter. Please don't take it. It doesn't make sense to take an insurance on your son or child who's a school-going child. It is illogical and it is unethical, I feel. Okay. Unmarried person. Pardon?
Sir, in that case, the insurance goes upon the parents, right?
Yeah, if it's for the parent, it's okay. But if it's for the child, it is wrong.
Yeah.
I feel it's wrong. It's not ethical. Okay. So there are policies which gives you insurance on the child. So be careful on that. Find out who they are covering. Okay. Only this married person with dependents or any person with a financial dependent need to take insurance. Okay. It's important that it has.
I have doubts, sir.
Yes, yes.
നമ്മൾ ടേം ഇൻഷുറൻസ് എടുക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ 85-75 ഇയേഴ്സ് എന്നൊക്കെ അതിന്റെ പീരീഡ് വെക്കാറുള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു ലോങ് ഡ്യൂറേഷനിൽ എടുക്കുന്നത് അത്ര വേണ്ട എന്നാണ് സാർ പറയുന്നത്. 60 ഇയേഴ്സ് മതി എന്നാണോ?
ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് it has to be, you can take it maximum up to the age of 65 because that will be the age by which you would be earning. After that, okay, if you are a businessman, then if you want to extend it up to 75, you have your own business, you're going to work up to 75, please do take it. But if you are an employee and you know that you're not going to work after 60 to 65 years, please, there's no need taking it after that. It is, see, after that, what is happening is like everybody is waiting for you to die so that they get the money. That is not called insurance. In Qatar and Middle East countries, it's called blood money. No, like somebody dies, you have to pay money to the family so that they don't put a case on you. So it's called blood money, you know. So somebody is waiting for you to die so that they get money. That is not insurance. That is something else. Okay.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
At the age of 40, retirement എടുക്കാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് term insurance ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ?
If you see when do you take an retirement that you have earned enough for your future, only then you're going to take the retirement, right?
Okay.
If you have earned enough and nobody is financially dependent, you're ensured that your financial dependence, everybody will be taken care with whatever money you have. Something like you suddenly got a maybe 20 crores lottery, Dubai lottery, you got 20 crore rupees. Okay, then you see that everything is covered. Like your family will, even if you die today, your family is sufficiently protected. They have enough money to live their life. Like all these, say 40 years old, you have all these goals still pending, right? Your child's education, child's marriage, and your wife also has to live till she's 90 years old, right? So, and if you have covered everything, then you don't have to take insurance.
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now, going back, then how do we calculate how much insurance we? Okay. Before that, let me go and because I've already taken this controversial topic. Let me tell you one more thing. There are a lot of schemes like unit-linked insurance schemes and a lot of other schemes. Okay. If you have seen any of one of these schemes, if you give a premium of 1 lakh rupees, as per the controlling authority in India for insurance is called IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority. Okay. So if you give a premium of 1 lakh rupees, they are bound to give you an insurance for 10 lakh rupees. Okay. Clear? Okay, before that, let me go and calculate how much our Manikutan needs, how much insurance Manikutan needs. This guy is 35 years old. He has got 1 lakh rupees, everything. So let us calculate how much this guy needs as an insurance with this retirement planning itself. So assume that he is 35 years old and he stops working at the age of 35, assuming that he'll die today or tomorrow. Okay. And his spouse will live till 90 years old. Okay. In that case, and their monthly expense is still going to continue as 50,000 rupees every month, because that's the living expense they have. When this guy reduces, maybe we can make it around 75%. Okay. Till that person, their monthly expense will reduce from 50,000 rupees to 37,000 rupees. In this case, for the spouse to continue the same lifestyle till she dies, they'll need 2 crore 47 lakh rupees as savings. And this is what the person has to take as an insurance. Does it make sense?
What did you say? What did you say? How much?
35 years old person, if he's having a living expense of 50,000 rupees per month. Okay, let's calculate the other way. Let's calculate in another way. The thumb rule for insurance is it has to be 20 times. It has to be 200 times of your monthly salary, including liabilities, or 20 times of your yearly expense plus liabilities. Okay. So let us say his yearly expense is 50,000 rupees into 12 into 20 times. Okay, so he need 1 crore 20 lakh rupees minimum as insurance. Plus, if he has taken some loan or something, say he has taken around 50 lakh rupees loan for building his house or something, he still need 1 crore 70 lakh rupees as insurance.
Sir, it is 20 times yearly expense.
Yeah, 20 times yearly expense or 200 times your monthly salary. So if you take 200 times monthly salary, 1 lakh rupees into 200 times is 2 crore rupees.
Insurance equal to the liabilities, you mean?
Insurance? No, this is a thumb rule for your insurance, like insurance calculation. So a person earning 1 lakh rupees per month will need at least 2 crore rupees of insurance, plus any loan he has taken, like if he has taken a housing loan or something like that, please add that into this and make it 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. So that if somebody dies, the family will get 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. They can pay back 50 lakh rupees to the housing company so that they can close the loan. And 2 crore rupees they have for the living expense, which they can invest and live their life till the family is like family can support themselves. Does it make sense?
So you require so much money
if you have financial dependence on you, that is first thing. If your family is fully dependent on you and they want to maintain the same lifestyle throughout their life, okay, then when you die, you need so much money to come to your family so that they can live their life. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the industry norm. How we calculate the insurance? So let us assume that he needs 2 crores of insurance. Okay. Now the problem is, like, people take 10 lakh rupees life insurance and think that they protected the family. It is not. That is one of the biggest mistakes people do. Like they take 10 lakh, 15 lakh insurance and think that, okay, my family will get 15 lakh rupees. What do they do with 15 lakh rupees? They cannot even live for 2 years with that money. They cannot maintain at least the same lifestyle with that money. Maybe the wife has to start working or something like that. That's a different. I'm assuming that once you die, you'll maintain the same lifestyle. The wife doesn't have to work anymore, and with the same money, you're going to protect the family. So that's the whole assumption. If both husband and wife are working, then you have to plan how much percentage of your salary is going to affect the family's income. Or maybe you can take a proportionate value. You don't have to take 2 crore, you can take 1 crore. That's up to you. But that's how you get to calculate. Clear? Does it make sense?
Clear, sir, clear.
Arun sir, namaskaram.
From
Yes, sir.
Sir, ഒന്നുമില്ല, ഒരു നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് പോവാന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ്. താങ്ക്സ്. അല്ല, ഒരുപാട് നല്ല ക്ലാസ് ആയിരുന്നു. പല ആൾക്കാരെ ഉറക്കം നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്തായാലും എന്റെ ഉറക്കം എന്തായാലും നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. Thank you, sir.
No, but we are still going to some interesting topics.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
ഇന്ന് ലേറ്റ് ആയോ? 15 minutes. ഞങ്ങൾ കുറച്ചും കൂടി എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്ത പ്രശ്നമില്ലല്ലോ.
പ്രശ്നമില്ല സാറേ.
Okay, good. So, okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Coming back to this topic, if you take something like ULIPs, the only problem with ULIP is it's a good product, no doubt about it. But the only problem is that if you give a premium of 1 lakh, they give you an insurance cover of 10 lakhs. Because IRDA, which is the governing body for insurance, they say you have to give 10 times your premium as insurance. Okay. Now, tell me what should be the premium for this guy to get 2.5 crores insurance?
Sir, approx 3,000 to 4,000 varam monthly.
അല്ല, മന്ത്ലി അല്ല, ഇയർലി. See, 1 lakh premium ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ he'll get 10 lakh insurance. Okay, so to get 2 crore 50 lakh insurance, what should be his premium per year? If he is taking this ULIP plan,
25 lakhs, sir.
25 lakhs, exactly. So he needs to have a premium of 25 lakhs in ULIP to get 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. If you can afford it, please go ahead and buy it. But if you cannot afford it, please don't buy this. Okay.
But 25 lakhs yearly കൊടുക്കണം എന്നാ?
ഈ ULIP എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ if you want to protect your family by taking an insurance through ULIP, you have to take 25, you have to pay 25 lakh premium. Then you'll get 2 crore 50 lakh insurance. Okay. If you cannot afford it, the second option is you go for term plan, pure term plan. See, insurance is not a product to earn money. It is product. Have you ever heard about a money back policy on a car insurance or a money back policy on a medical insurance? You never heard, right? You only hear money back policy and investment come insurance product only on life insurance. I feel it is because we don't calculate this 2 crore 50 lakhs rupees. We always think that 10 lakh or 20 lakh or 30 lakh is enough for a family. Now our question, going back to our question, see, we said how much, what is the insurance cover required? We had just 1 crore. We had 1 crore. That's very good. At least you're quite nearer to that. At least Vijay said 3 crore. That is good. But the point is that we have to be very careful when we take the insurance. Okay. So if you go for ULIP, it's going to be, it's up to you. Like if you can afford 25 lakhs, please go ahead and buy ULIPs and have your family covered for 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. If not, the best option is like if you're 30
Sir,
years
is that 25 lakhs?
Yes.
Or
25 lakhs. See, if you take 1 lakh, they'll give you 10 times the insurance. So if you take 25 lakhs, they'll give you 2 crore 50 lakh rupees insurance. Okay, that's how it's calculated. But if you don't want to do that, you can take a term plan. A term plan is something that you give, something like a car insurance. You give money, nothing happens, no accident happens, you don't get the money back. Next year again you pay for it. Similarly, for your life also, you pay a premium, nothing happens, you don't get the money back, you pay the next year. Okay, that's how you're going to pay. And for example, this is I'm taken from a LIC tech term plan from their website. If a 25 years old person, he wants a 1 crore insurance, the premium is 9,553 rupees, including taxes per year. So 2.5 crores, if he has to take, he has to pay into 2.5%, that is 23,300 rupees he pays every year. He is covered for 2.5 crores. Right? And this money won't come back. And in any case, none of the insurance money ever comes back. It is only a gimmick that you get a money back or anything like that. Because the same company, LIC, if you take a money back policy, for the same 1 crore, you're paying 5,88,000 rupees premium. So instead of 9,000, you're paying 5,88,000 rupees for the same 1 crore rupees. What is happening is, for this 9,000 is deducted from this, and balance is put into some product which gives you 6% return, and that is given back to you as your earnings. So it is never, no insurance is free. Okay, you have to pay a premium, pay the premium, forget about insurance, balance money, you go and invest. That's my thought process. You can maybe split it also, like you take 50 lakh rupees of ULIP and then you take 2 crore rupees of your term plan. It's up to you how you want to manage your insurance and your investment. But for me, I keep my insurance separate and investment separate. Hope it makes sense.
It's
സാധാരണ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ടേം
under-
ഇൻഷുറൻസ് ബെറ്റർ അല്ല സർ?
എല്ലാവർക്കും ടേം ഇൻഷുറൻസ് ബെറ്റർ സർ.
ഞാൻ എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി ചോദിച്ചിരുന്നു 39 ഏജ് അപ്
Okay.
ടു 66 ഇയേഴ്സ് 1 crore around 1,750 rupees per month.
Okay.
ICICയുടെ പ്ലാൻ ചോദിച്ചു.
Perfect. I suggest you go. നിങ്ങൾ ഇതിലൊന്ന് LIC ടെക് ടേം പ്ലാൻ ഒന്ന് നോക്കൂ. I think it would be better. That's what I feel. I'm not recommending or anything. I just took it out for this exercise. I've taken out, so I felt it is cheaper. So നിങ്ങളൊന്ന് നോക്കൂ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് ചീപ്പറായി തോന്നുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you can buy.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Just a suggestion. I'm not recommending anything. It's just a suggestion that you can just check this. It is, you can directly go to like lic.com, licindia.com, and then in the licindia.com there is one page. I think there is a tab where you can. There is something called buy online policy, and click here, and it will take you to this tech term, LIC tech term plan. Okay, this is a pure protection family insurance. Just click on this, go and check your what is your premium, and if you think it is cheaper than anything else, why don't you can buy that. Up to you. I'm just giving you. Okay, so insurance. Okay, any questions on insurance? Okay, so next one, investment types. So I've just listed on all the investment types which I know of. There could be many more. This is what I know of. Okay, so I just put here. So it's something like savings bank account, and put what is the approximate returns you get. Short term, if you have a risk or not. In short term, I mean 1 to 7 years. Long term, if you have a risk or not. How volatile it is, that is, will it go up and down? How liquid it is, that is, how soon can you take the money out? And based upon all these factors, which type of goals is it suitable for, as per my understanding? You can have a different understanding as per your requirement. Okay. So for example, savings account, all these are green, so it is suitable for a short-term goal. Bank fixed deposit gives you around 5.5%. So everything is green, so it is suitable for a short-term goal. Company fixed deposits or cooperative bank fixed deposit, you will get around slightly better, around 6.5%. But short-term, long-term, I put it as a risk because cooperative banks can close down, as we have seen a couple of instances recently that cooperative banks do close down. So that's why I put it as a yellow risk, not a red risk. But volatility is not there, liquidity is very good, capital preservation, short-term goal. Debt mutual funds. How comfortable are you with mutual funds? Do you have, all you guys know about mutual funds, or zero knowledge about mutual funds?
ഞാൻ വാങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട് സാറേ.
Okay, very good. Okay, if you want to know more about mutual funds, please let me know. We can have another session on that. I have a complete package of that.
Yes,
So I can explain to you what is mutual fund, what are the different types, how it can be invested in it, something like that. But again, no recommendations, only a process I'll be talking about.
വേണം സാറേ ഒരു ക്ലാസ്സും
Me also.
Okay, good. Okay. So mutual fund, there is something called a debt mutual fund, which invests in government securities and company bonds and things like that. It gives you around 6 to 7% returns. Again, I think Sita Madam asked, right, something like, what do we invest to get compounding? So this may be one of the instruments where you can invest the money, where it's a debt instrument, you get almost fixed returns. It is not that you'll get exactly 6% every year or anything, but it doesn't vary too much. The volatility is very less. Okay, and it gets compounded also. So you don't have to renew it every month, every year or anything. You put the money, it gets compounded. When you take out the money, you get the returns.
Dividend
Dividend, it is only the growth which you get.
dividend
No, okay, dividend. Okay, dividend also you can get.
Mutual fund.
Okay, madam. Dividend so what the problem is dividend is you're taking out the compounding, right? You're taking out the interest. So you wouldn't get the compounding effect. To get the compounding, you have to reinvest the dividend. So always try to invest in growth than dividend. So only then you get the compounding. Otherwise, your capital remains the same. So you'll get the same returns every year. Unless, of course, you want to take out the money and use it for your requirements, then that's a different thing. But otherwise, it's better to reinvest the dividends. Okay, we'll talk about the mutual funds and details in maybe later time, some other time. Okay, so mutual funds, debt, all green, short term. If you put in company bonds, there are many websites where we can put directly into company bonds. A lot of us don't know about it, but it is also available. I can show you some example also. Short term, there's no risk, long term, no risk, but liquidity is yellow because you cannot take out the money immediately because these bonds has a certain period till which you have to keep the money there. Okay, so it is suitable for a medium term goal because you cannot take out the money immediately. Then public provident funds, Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, NSC, Kisan Vikas Patra, everything is around 7.1 to 6.8% return, all green, but I put liquidity as red and yellow because the lock-in periods are high, so you use it for a medium term. Okay. Then you have real estate. So all these types are called debt instruments. Okay. And here, then we have instruments like real estate. Now, if you invest in real estate in a very logical manner, if you understand real estate and invest, you can generate around 10 to 12% return. But if you try to buy a property in the center of Kozhikode and try to get it appreciated, it's not going to appreciate. And nor is it going to appreciate if you buy the property in the middle of Kochi or any town for that. You will have to invest in the property which is outside the city so that it appreciates. So I'm talking about real estate in terms of investment. So if you buy a house for yourself to stay, that is not a real estate investment. That could be a goal. You plan for it, buy it, enjoy it. That's up to you. But investment is a different ballgame. Okay. So short term, we have a risk. Long term, it gives you profit. Volatility is slightly there because it can go up and come down sometimes. Liquidity is very bad because selling takes a long period of time, takes a lot of legal issues, maintenance is an issue, a lot of things. So if you want to invest in real estate, if you're comfortable, please go ahead and invest in real estate. Gold, the most liked product for all of us, all at least Malayalis, at least South Indians, and especially ladies. So please, 6 to 8%, 10% return. That is the average returns you're going to get in gold. Do you believe me? Do you agree with me, or you think you get more than that?
No, jewelry and all, when you give back, you want to sell, you don't get that.
No, I'm saying in a long period of time, if you buy jewelry today and want to sell it after 10 years, we're talking about long-term investment, right? After 7 years.
Okay.
So if you're buying jewelry today and selling it after 10 years, what do you think the rate of increase of your gold rate could be?
That's what is 6 to 10%. What is
correct? So I have taken the gold rate from 1964 onwards. Every year, what is the gold price for the 24 karat 10 gram gold? Okay. So if you see, and I've taken what is the growth per year. So from 1964 to 65, the gold rate has increased by 13%, then 17%, then 22%, and so on. Okay, so if you see right, and now it is not growing as much as it was growing before. And if you see this gray line, this is the growth percentage. Okay, and if I take a trend line, it goes to around 6 to 10% growth, which is happening right now in gold. And even if you take the gold rate, historic gold rate, see, this is the historic gold rate in US dollar. This is historic gold rate in US dollar from 1974 onwards. So gold rate had increased in 1977, 78 or 80. Then if you had invested gold here, you would have lost money till 2002. So gold never increased in between this two. Then suddenly there was some economic crisis in 2008. There was a Lehman Brothers issue, everything in the world, and there was a economic crisis going on. So the gold rate increased again. Again, it came down. Okay, so if you are invested in 2008, you would have lost money in 2017. The gold rate had come down. And now because of the corona things again, the gold rate increased and now suddenly it is coming. So this is the trend in US dollar. But the story is slightly different if you put it in Indian rupees, because Indian rupees depreciating against US dollars. So that's why you see a slightly different view, INR. So if you see INR,
sir, investment in jewelry is better than other investments or not?
I won't say that. I'll say that in investment in jewelry, first thing, investment in gold will give you 6% return. Okay. Now let me, so that is only the point I want to show here, that the gold rate is not that it always gives you positive. There are periods when it gives you negative. Now coming back to our sheet, for example, if you buy jewelry for 1 lakh rupees, okay, you will be giving a making charge, taxes, etc. for 20%. So the value of gold you're going to get is around 80,000 rupees. Rest will be making charges and gold, which you're making charges and taxes, which you're going to pay.
Okay.
Now your capital is 1 lakh rupees, which is already gone down by 20% as soon as you invest in this.
Okay.
Okay. And then if it grows by growth, the gold grows by 8% per year, this 80,000 will become 86,400 in 1 year, 93,000 in second year, and 1 lakh in third year. So after 3 years, your capital is going to come back to the amount you invested in. So the gold value would increase up to your capital only after 3 years. And then it has to give you profit. Okay, so it is not a very intelligent thing to do, is to buy gold jewelry. If you want to buy gold, please buy maybe gold funds, liquid gold mutual funds, or you can buy sovereign gold bonds, which is issued by RBI. These are 3 avenues where you can buy gold. If you buy a gold jewelry, if it is your goal, you want to buy a jewelry, you like it, please go ahead and buy jewelry, but please don't think that you bought jewelry so you're investing. You're not investing.
Sir, sovereign gold fund, adonnu parayo RBI
and sovereign gold bond, they issue it maybe once in 2 or 3 months. They publish it. Okay, so sovereign gold bonds, they issued I don't know when is the next issue coming in, but there's a period of around 5 to 10 days in which you have to buy those gold. They publish the gold rate. So it is issued by the RBI, guaranteed by Government of India, and they publish the rate per gram of gold. How much would be the gold rate? It's about 24 karat gold. You get a gold certificate, and that is, and you can redeem it only after 7 years. So 7 years is the lock-in period for that. And every year you get, every quarter, I think every year you get around 2.5% interest rate. So that is also credited back to your bank. Okay, and there is no tax, there's no capital gains tax or any tax to be paid on the value. Like if gold rate today is 5,000 rupees and when you sell it, it's 10,000 rupees. Whatever is the difference, that is for you, there's no tax on it.
And sir, some about treasury bill.
I'm so sorry for that.
Treasury bill is as like debenture or the other bond type.
Okay. Yeah, bonds. So if you just check like what is the interest you get. So normally company bonds give you around 7 to 10% returns. Okay. And real estate, we discussed about gold. Equity mutual funds. So equity mutual funds, when you invest, they would take the money and invest in stock market on your behalf, and they get returns, and they take a part of it as their management fees and give you back the returns. So that's how the mutual fund works. You get around 12 to 15% return as per the past performances. Okay. So short term, there is a risk. Long term, there's no risk. So all these things, if you are investing in, especially the mutual funds and anywhere in the stock market, I request you, unless you are trained trader and you know what is trading, please don't try to do trading in a short term, try to buy it low, sell it high, do some swing trading, some F&O trading. Please don't do that, because 98% of the people lose money in it. If you want to do invest into that, this is for long-term investment, more than 7 years. If you can spare the money which you don't want to use it for the next 7 years, only then please go and put it in the stock market. Or for that matter, anything like gold also, you're not going to buy gold today and sell it tomorrow, right? Because gold rate can change. Tomorrow it can go down, day after tomorrow it can come out. So you're not going to buy gold today and sell it tomorrow. If you invest in gold, it has to be for a long term. It has to be more than 7 to 10 years or for generations. You normally keep it for generations, give it to your daughters, your children, and pass it on, right? Similarly, you can pass it on to even property, you do the same thing. And same thing, you should think about real equities also. So mutual funds, in long term, it gives you profit. Volatility is very high. Liquidity is very good. So whenever you want the money, you can sell it and take it out. Similarly, there is something called exchange traded fund. You'll get 12 to 15% return, all same as mutual funds, all the risk profile. PMS, that is something like if you have more than 50 lakh rupees, you can invest similar to mutual funds, but it is more personalized. So you'll get slightly more returns, like 15 to 20%. But again, risk profile is similar for long-term investment. If you're very good at analyzing stocks and know how to manage stocks, then you can invest in direct equity. You can get around 50 to 40% returns. Again, risk profile remains the same for all equity products. Risk profile remains the same, only for long-term investment, long-term goals, and need a good knowledge and time to do the analysis. Personally, I don't do any direct equity investment because I don't have the time to do the analysis, nor do I have the skills right now to do the analysis. All my investment is into mutual fund, equity mutual funds, and debt mutual funds. That is my personal view, but I'm not imposing that to you. It's up to you how comfortable you are with the assets where you invest. Okay, next is crypto, which is a new asset type. I don't know what is the returns which you're going to get. People say you get very high returns. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I suddenly thought, because everything was so still, so I thought I was not audible. Sorry. So I don't know what will be the returns you can get. Short term, definitely there is a risk because it's a volatile asset. So if you buy it today, try to sell it tomorrow, it can go down also. Volatility is very high, but I don't know what is the long-term returns. I don't know what is the liquidity, because right now there are a lot of laws, a lot of taxes on that. So I don't know how the liquidity things work. I think it is very liquid also, but it's a new asset, very speculative, highly volatile. So only if you're comfortable in this, please go ahead and invest in them. If you're not, please don't listen to people that I made a lot of money in Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that, and then you go and put your money into it. So understand the asset, only then you invest. Next is ULIP. ULIP, we already discussed. It can give you 10 to 12% return, but issue is that it is not. I feel it's neither an insurance product nor an investment product. And for me, anything which has to do with insurance, it has to cover my insurance requirement before it goes to the investment requirement. So this does not go. So I personally will not invest in this, nor will I invest in any of the money back policies or any assured return policies or anything like that. Then the next one is the National Pension Scheme. I don't know if anybody knows about it. I think most of the people who are working in companies would know about it, because this is already like all the companies are going to the NPS regime. So I would not recommend, if you don't have NPS, I would not recommend you to go and invest in NPS, but it is up to you. If you want the details, please let me know, because I already crossed the time, so I'm running through this. So NPS, I would not recommend. I would recommend you stick to these products rather than going into the NPS and things like that. Then if you are a senior citizen, you have the Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, Pradhan Mantri Vyayavardhana Yojana and all this, where you can invest. It's a good scheme, but then the amount which you can invest is very less. As we have calculated, we need around 6 crores to retire. And this allows something very, I think 15 lakhs or 20 lakh rupees to be invested, which is very less. Okay,
Senior citizen only 15 lakhs.
15 lakhs. So 15 lakhs out of 6 crores you invest.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, so out of 6 crores you need as a capital, you invest 15 lakhs in this. the rest we have to anyway find other opportunities to invest in. So it doesn't make any sense to me. It is just like it's just a carrot, just to show that you have done something for the senior citizens. So I will not invest my father's money into this. Then chit funds, peer-to-peer lending, invoice discounting, these are all other avenues, very highly risky. Please don't invest in them. Chit funds are very popular in Kerala, but I don't recommend anybody to invest in chit funds. These are not real investment products. These are for people who are just daily wages sort of things. Please don't go and invest in these products. If you want details, we can discuss maybe offline. Okay. So these are the different products available. As per my view, what is the risk profile, and as per my view, what are the goals suitable for, so that you can invest in. So that's my understanding. Hope this is clear. Any questions on this?
Sir, personally contact ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? എന്തെങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ
ഞാൻ എന്റെ ഇമെയിൽ ഐഡിയും ഫോൺ നമ്പറും തരാം at the end of the meeting, and then you can just WhatsApp me. If you want, we can have a call, or we can discuss one thing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, ഒരു ഡൗട്ട് സാർ, ഇതിൽ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് റേറ്റ് കാണിക്കുന്നത് ഇത് ക്യുമുലേറ്റീവ് ആണോ അതോ നോർമൽ സിമ്പിൾ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ആണോ സാർ വരുന്നത്? ഇപ്പോൾ
this is per year interest. So if you keep investing, so for example in mutual funds, mutual funds and all, it won't give you the same interest every year. Some years it will go down, some years
compound interest alla adu varunnu.
Yeah, this is compounded annual growth rate. So if you take a 10-year period, average growth rate is around 10 to 12%. Every year, mutual fund also will not give you 10%. Gold also will not give you 10%. Gold also would have gone down some years, but if you keep it for maybe 10 years, you will get 6%.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right. So this is the compounded annual growth rate as we discussed yesterday. So average growth rate. Okay. Now, real estate. Interested to know, or you want to skip, because we are already about time. So if you still want to continue, I can explain to you real estate. Some interesting facts.
You can, sir.
Okay, good. So there are 3 houses. These are real life examples. House 1, cost price was 32 lakh rupees. Selling price, current rate is 80 lakh rupees. So house 2, cost price was 37 lakh 50,000 rupees. Current price is 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. House 3, cost is 5,000 rupees. Now the selling price is 1 crore 20 lakh rupees. Which one do you think is a good investment?
5,000 in there.
Okay. I'll give you some more information. Purchase price was 2012 for this one. This one was purchased in 2006. That is 37 lakh one. This was purchased in 1949 at 5,000 rupees, and now it costs 1 crore 20 lakh rupees. Now, which one do you think which is a good investment? Okay. Let me show you the calculation. Again, I'm taking the IR. Okay. So I'm taking for this house the current price, and I'm taking some rent also, and what will be the current value of this, what profit I got, how many years. So this is like bought 9.7 years back. This is bought 16 years back, and this is bought 72 years. So this property has given you 12.1% IR. This has given you 13% IR, and this has given you 10% IR. So that is, your investment has grown by 10% average per year. Your investment here has grown by 13% average per year. Though it looks like 5,000 rupees and 1,20,000 rupees, this has grown only by 12% per year. Okay. So don't go by the values, go by your IRR. Only then you know what is the actual return. Now, I'm taking one step further. If instead of putting this 32 lakh in this property, if I had put that money in something like a HDFC top 100 fund, I'm not taking this fund because it's a very good fund. It is because this is one of the very old funds that is only available in 2006. This was one of the funds available. If I had bought this fund, the current value of that fund would have been 1 crore 13 lakh rupees instead of this house being 80 lakh rupees. Okay. The IRR I would have got was 13.8%. Again, here also, this property currently is 2 crore 50 lakh rupees, whereas the mutual fund would have been 3 crore 20 lakh rupees. Okay, I'm not saying mutual fund would give you always better return than real estate, but I'm saying that please don't think that real estate gives you exorbitant returns or anything like that. So please divide your assets into different classes. You can put maybe some percentage, whichever you feel comfortable, something like 30% in real estate, 70% in maybe 50% in stocks, maybe 10% in gold, whatever. So depending upon your requirement, don't put everything into one asset class, put everything into real estate or anything. But of course, again, as per your convenience, you can split and put the money, and so that it is more convenient for you to manage. Okay, don't put into too many things also, so that it becomes out of your hand to control, but put it as per your convenience. Okay, for example, this is my friend's property in Bangalore. So I was telling him that he says the house construction rate goes up every year. But if you take this example, he bought it for 37 lakh rupees. Today, he could sell it for 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. And to find a buyer for 2 crore 50 lakh also will take a lot of time. There's only a notional value which he thinks that he can sell it for. Probably he won't get a buyer for 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. But even if this is the case, if he had put the same money in mutual funds, he could have bought this property. Like today, he would have 3 crore rupees with it, with the same 37 lakh. So he could have bought this property for 2 crore 50 lakh rupees. He still has 50 lakh rupees with him spare, which he could bought a BMW X5 and parked in front of his house. So yeah, that's how it works. You know? So I'm not saying that everything works that way every time. I'm just saying that we have different asset classes. So please think about it and then invest as per your convenience. Okay, so next, I'm taking to the last slide of my presentation. So we talked about a lot of risks during our presentation. I know almost all of you have got bored of listening to me. So let me take it to the last slide. So I'm just giving my view of how to mitigate the risk. Something like unemployment risk. How do you mitigate it? Build a reasonable emergency fund. Ensure that you take very less loan or debt and avoid taking credit cards. Then second is how not to fall into a debt trap. Ensure that you have you take loans only if it's very necessary for you to take the loan. And all the other options are ruled out. Plan your goals well in advance and work towards savings towards that goal. Decide the down payment loan amount you're planning to take. Ensure that the EMI is within the needs bucket of your investment. And try not to take your credit card, at least in the initial stages of your life, because it makes you work or live on money which you don't own. Okay. Next is like mutual funds. Analyze the funds carefully and analyze all charges. Don't buy listening to sales talk or pressure tactics. Invest in only if you're comfortable and confident in the investment, and never borrow and take loan and invest. Personal risk. Take adequate term insurance, take adequate medical insurance. Psychological risk, understand that no one can predict the future. So whatever you're doing today is assuming that it will grow in future. So future, nobody can predict. So don't worry. Everybody is in the same boat. So nobody can predict the future. So take your own decisions. Believe in yourself that you're best judge for yourself. Don't compete with others. The competition should be with yourself. Invest in such a way that you have peace of mind. Don't target very high profits. Benchmark for equity, for example, should be around 12 to 15%. Understand that nobody is going to take your money and grow it for you and give you returns. It doesn't happen that way. And develop the habit of investing. Don't try to time the market. If you were investing in stock market, it's about time in the market than timing the market. So don't try to buy low, sell high. It doesn't work. So invest as soon as you have money, go and invest. Stay invested for long periods of time. You definitely make money. Okay. So those are the key messages I wanted to give. So these are the thoughts I had. Just one last concept, but again, this is not about finance. So finance talk is over. Now we had discussed about all of these. Okay, all the concepts we discussed about different how to invest, where to invest, how we have to plan our goals, everything. Now, what is one thing more we need to be successful, financially successful? Any guess? Any thought? Again, this is not financial talk.
വരവ് അറിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ജീവിക്കുക, അതിൽ കൂടുതൽ എക്സ്പെൻഡിച്ചർ വരുന്നുണ്ട്.
അതൊക്കെ correct ആണ് sir. But what else you need? Because you are investing everything not knowing the future, right? In future gold rate കൂടുകയോ സ്ഥലത്തിന്റെ വില കൂടുകയോ സ്റ്റോക്ക് മാർക്കറ്റ് കൂടുകയോ ഒന്നും അറിയില്ല. You are investing today assuming that things are going to grow. Okay.
Knowledge and planning.
Yeah. See, I feel you need a lot of fortune, good fortune, lot of luck. Okay. Now, how do you enhance your luck? Any thought?
നന്നായി പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്ത് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം.
Yeah, how do you enhance your luck?
Luck.
Okay. My thought, we can call me mad, whatever, but one way to enhance luck is giving back to society. At least maybe 1 or 2% of what you earn, you give back to society. May not be in money. You can give it in terms of knowledge, your time, your whatever. You can give back to society, to people who need it. Okay. Even if you pass on knowledge to people who need it, what comes back to you should be a positive vibe from them, which I feel enhances, like it comes back to you as positive or as a good fortune. So that's my thought. It's up to you to accept it or not, but this is just my thought. Okay. So with that, I stop my presentation. So hope you guys enjoyed, or I don't know how bored you are, or I tried derailed you from your thought process. I'm sorry for that, but that's all I have for you today. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഇമെയിൽ ഐ ഡിയും ഫോൺ നമ്പറും ചാറ്റിലിടാം. Okay, you can contact me if you want to discuss anything one-to-one. We can have a thought to discuss about it. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I am an investor just like you. Just that I have put everything what I thought and what I understand into a piece of paper and try to explain to you. So I'm just like you as an investor. I'm not a financial expert or advisor, but whatever I know, I'm ready to share and discuss with you. Okay, sir. Any thoughts? Any comments?
സാറിന്റെ ഈ നമ്പറിലാണോ, വാട്സപ്പ് നമ്പറിലാണോ സാർ?
അതെ ഈ നമ്പർ തന്നെ.
ഓക്കെ സാർ.
I'm WhatsApp ഉണ്ട്, Google Do ഉണ്ട്, bottom anything is.
Okay, Arun sir.
Okay sir.
ഇതിനിടയിൽ എനിക്ക് ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് മുങ്ങണ്ടോ വെച്ച് വീട്ടിൽ ഗസ്റ്റ് വന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഞാനൊന്ന് പോയി, എനിക്കൊന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാതായിപ്പോയി. അപ്പൊ മിഥുൻ സാറിനെയും അരുൺ സാറിനെയൊക്കെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ പോയത്. ഏതായാലും കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് നടന്നിട്ടുണ്ടാവും വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ആധികാരികമായിട്ട് ക്ലാസ് ഒന്നും കേൾക്കാതെ അതിനെ കുറിച്ചൊരു അഭിപ്രായം പറയുന്നതും ശരിയല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ മിഥുൻ സാറിന് മൈക്ക് കൈമാറുകയാണ്. മിഥുൻ സാർ.
Anil sir, thank you so much. Arun sir, thank you. 2 days, 2 ദിവസം വളരെ സന്തോഷം. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും സാറിന് റീജാമയം വഴി നമുക്ക് പരിചയപ്പെട്ടത് തൊട്ട് നമുക്ക് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മളെ ഡിസ്കഷനും എല്ലാം. സോ വളരെ സന്തോഷം. നമ്മളെ ഈ ഒരു ഫാമിലിയിലേക്ക് സാറെ ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ചെയ്തതിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ആ ഒരു ബെനിഫിറ്റ്. നമുക്കറിയാം ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ പ്ലാനിങ്, ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ ലിറ്ററസി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഏത് ട്രെയിനർ ആയാലും അതൊരു ലാക്ക് തന്നെയായിരുന്നു നമുക്ക്. സോ വി ഗോട്ട് സം ക്ലാരിറ്റി. സോ ആ ഒരു ക്ലാരിറ്റിയിൽ നിന്ന് പിടിച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നല്ലൊരു ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ പ്ലാനിങ്ങിലേക്കും നല്ലൊരു ഗോൾ സെറ്റിംഗിലേക്കും നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഗോൾ സെറ്റിംഗ് ടീമിൽ എല്ലാവർക്കും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമായിരിക്കും എന്ന് ആത്മാർത്ഥമായിട്ട് പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. അതേപോലെ താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് സർ. സോ നമുക്ക് ഓരോ ആളെയും ഫീഡ്ബാക്കും അവരുടെ ഡൗട്ടും കുറെ ക്ലാരിറ്റിയും എല്ലാം വേണ്ടി വരുമെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. സോ നമുക്ക് ഓരോ ആളുടെയും ശ്രീജിത് സാർ ഉണ്ട്, മിന്റു സാർ ഉണ്ട്, റീജ മാം ഉണ്ട്, സീത മാം ഉണ്ട്, എല്ലാരെയും നമുക്ക് ഓരോ ആളെയും ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട് സാർ, വിത്ത് യുവർ പെർമിഷൻ. അരുൺ സാർ ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? താങ്ക് യു. സോ ഒരാൾ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഹാൻഡ് റൈസിംഗ് ഒന്നും വേണ്ട. ഒരാൾ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കുറച്ച് ആൾക്കാരേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഒരാളും അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ചോദിക്കാം. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് പറയാം. 2 ദിവസമായി നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് സെഷൻ കേൾക്കുന്നു, എല്ലാം കൃത്യമായിട്ട് പറയാം.
സാറേ 2 ദിവസത്തെ സെഷൻ ഗംഭീരമാണ്. ഞാൻ ഇന്നലത്തെ സെഷനും ഇന്നത്തെ തുടക്കം മാത്രമേ കേട്ടിട്ടുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷെ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വീഡിയോ യൂട്യൂബിൽ കണ്ട് ഞാൻ സാറിനെ പേഴ്സണലി കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്തോളാം. വളരെ സന്തോഷം. ഏതായാലും ഈ ഒരു വലിയൊരു സൗഹൃദത്തിന്റെ ഒരു അനുഭവമാണ് എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും സന്തോഷം. സാർ വാട്സപ്പ് ചെയ്തു, അങ്ങനെ ആ ഒരു സൗഹൃദം നമുക്ക് ഏതായാലും തുടരാം. റിജ മാമിന് ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ പ്രത്യേകം നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. മിഥുൻ സാറ് ഇത് സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഏറ്റവും വലിയൊരു ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റീവ് എടുത്തത് മിഥുൻ സാറാണ്. മിഥുൻ സാറ് സുധാ സാറോട് സംസാരിച്ച് നമുക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു പ്രത്യേക സമയത്ത് ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം നമുക്ക് ഒരുക്കി തരികയായിരുന്നു. സത്യത്തിൽ ഞാനിതിൽ വലിയൊരു റോളൊന്നും ഞാൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് വളരെയധികം സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. കാരണം അരുൺ സാറിനെ പോലുള്ള ഒരാളുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സൗഹൃദത്തിന് തുടക്കമാവാനായിട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലോ എന്നുള്ളൊരു സന്തോഷമാണ്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് വീണ്ടും കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ഞാനിനി കൂടുതൽ സമയം ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്നില്ല. നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒറ്റ വാക്കിൽ നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ വാങ്ങുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു.
തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അനിൽ സാർ, താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്. ബിക്കോസ് യുവർ പ്രസൻസ് ഈസ് ഓൾവേസ് ബ്ലെസ്ഡ്. താങ്ക് യു. ബിന്ദു സാർ, ശ്രീ സാർ ഒന്ന് അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നോർമൽ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്കൊരു കാഷ്വൽ ടോക്ക് പോലെ സംസാരിക്കാം.
Arun sir, first of all, I would like to thank you, sir. കാരണം എന്തെന്ന് വെച്ചാല് സാർ ഇത്രയും ഒരു എഫേർട്ട് എടുത്തിട്ട് ഇവിടെ വന്നു സാറിന്റെ ടൈം, വാല്യുബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ടൈം സാർ യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾക്ക് ഈ കാര്യമൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു തരാൻ അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് സാറ് കാണിച്ച ആ ഒരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ്. സോ നമ്മളെ കയ്യിലുള്ള അറിവ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നോളജ് അത് വേറൊരാൾക്ക് നല്ലത് വരട്ടെ, നല്ലത് ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ, നല്ലത് ഉണ്ടാവണം എന്ന് സാറിന്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ആ തോന്നലുണ്ടായിട്ട് സാർ ഇവിടെ വന്ന് നമുക്ക് എല്ലാം ഇത് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തു തന്നു. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ ബിഗ്ഗസ്റ്റ് തിങ്. അതായത് ഇതിന്റെ സീക്രട്ട്, ദിസ് ഈസ് മൈ മന്ത്ര, ദിസ് ഈസ് മൈ സീക്രട്ട്, ഐ എം ഗോൺ ബിക്കം ദിസ് പേഴ്സൺ, ഐ എം ഗോൺ അച്ചീവ് ഓൾ ദിസ് തിങ്സ് എന്ന് സാറ് ചിന്തിക്കാതെ നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ തരാൻ വേണ്ടി വന്നു. സാറ് ഇത്രയും കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഈ വർക്ക് ഒക്കെ ചെയ്തു പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ഗ്രേറ്റസ്റ്റ് എഫേർട്ട് സർ. ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന അറിവ് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാൻ തോന്നിയത് ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ ബിഗ്ഗസ്റ്റ് തിങ്. ഇന്നലെ എന്താണ് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റിന്റെ സ്കോപ്പ് എന്നും ഇന്ന് എവിടെയൊക്കെ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, അതിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് മാക്സിമം നമുക്കും സാറിന്റെ സീക്രട്ട് ഓഫ് സക്സസ് നമുക്കും പറഞ്ഞു തന്ന് എങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് അവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേരാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതില് ഒരു ചേട്ടനെ പോലെയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഫ്രണ്ടിനെ പോലെയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ലൈക്ക് ഗുരുവിനെ പോലെയോ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്ന് സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് ആയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു. അതിന് വെരി താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എന്നെ ഇവിടെ ക്ഷണിച്ച മിഥുൻ സർ, താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ ഗിവിംഗ് മീ ദിസ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ വരാൻ പറ്റിയതും എല്ലാവരെയും മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയതിനും വളരെ സന്തോഷം. ദൈവത്തിനോട് നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എസ്പെഷ്യലി നമ്മുടെ റീജ മാമിന്റെ കസിൻ ബ്രദർ ആണ്, റീജ മാമിന് നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാവർക്കും ദിനേശ് സർ, ശ്രീജിത്ത് സർ, ശ്രീത മാഡം, പ്രഥമോൾ മാഡം എല്ലാവർക്കും താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ ബീയിങ് ഹിയർ. താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്.
താങ്ക് യു മിന്ദു സർ, താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്.
I'll be ready for another session if you think more people can join. I'm ready to have another session on this. And even mutual funds, if somebody interested in mutual funds also, I have a separate package for them. So I can discuss.
Sir, actually, ഈ ഒരു കണക്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ജസ്റ്റ് ബിഗിനിങ് ആണ്, ഇത് എൻഡിങ് അല്ല. സോ നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഫാമിലിയോടുള്ള ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടിംഗ് ആണ്. ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഗോൾ സെറ്റിംഗ് ടീമിനെ വീണ്ടും സാറെ ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. നമുക്ക് സ്പെഷ്യൽ ഇതേപോലെ വി ഓൾവേസ് റെസ്പെക്ട് യുവർ ടൈമിംഗ് ആൻഡ് എവറിത്തിങ്. സോ നമുക്കൊരു സ്പെഷ്യൽ സെഷൻ പോലെ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. And actually we understand സാറിന്റെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് സാറ് ലെക്ക് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. We understand.
Okay.
Giving knowledge, right? And we can proudly say that all our trainers, all the ToTs family members also already ആ പാർട്ടിലാണുള്ളത്. അവർ ഓൾറെഡി ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ടും ഈ നോളജ് എക്സ്പാൻഷന്റെ ഒരു ഭാഗത്തിലാണ് എല്ലാവരും ഉള്ളത്. സോ വി ആൾസോ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് ആ ഒരു ലെക്കിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും എത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു ഈ ഒരു ഭാഗത്തിൽ നിന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊള്ളുന്നു. ശ്രീജിത്ത് സർ, ഓവർ ടു യു.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു മിഥുൻ സാർ, അരുൺ സാർ. ഞാന് സാറിന്റെ ക്ലാസ് ഞാനിപ്പോ ഒരു ഡ്രൈവ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് വന്നു, ഇപ്പൊ വീട്ടിലെത്തി. മൊബൈലിൽ കുറെ കേട്ടു, പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് ഇന്നലത്തെ കിട്ടിയില്ല. പക്ഷെ മഹാന്മാരുടെ ഇതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ വലിയതൊന്നും നമുക്ക് കേൾക്കാറില്ലല്ലോ, ഒരു സെന്റൻസ് ഒക്കെ അല്ലേ. അപ്പൊ സാറിന്റെ കുറച്ച് കേട്ടപ്പോ തന്നെ ഞാൻ എന്തായാലും വീട്ടിൽ വന്നു, കുട്ടികളോടും വൈഫിനോടും ഒന്നും സംസാരിക്കാതെ റൂമിൽ കയറി സാറിനോട് എന്റെ ഒരു സംശയം ചോദിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. സംശയമൊന്നുമില്ല, ഞാനിങ്ങനെ കുറെ കാലമായി ഞങ്ങള് ഒരു കോഴിക്കോട് ഭാഗത്തേക്ക് ഒരു പുതിയ വീടൊക്കെ എടുക്കണം എന്നിങ്ങനെ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പൊ സ്ഥലവും വാങ്ങണം, അതിനോടൊപ്പം വീടും ഉണ്ടാക്കണം. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ അതിന്റെ എന്തായാലും നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ലോണും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ അതിനകത്ത് വേണം. അപ്പൊ സ്ഥലം വാങ്ങി കുറെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് വീട് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതാണോ നല്ലത്, സ്ഥലവും വീടിനും ഒന്നിച്ച് ലോൺ എടുക്കുന്നതാണോ നല്ലതെന്നുള്ള എന്റെ ഒരു പേഴ്സണൽ ചോദ്യം സാറിനോട് ചോദിക്കാണ്. സാറിന് ആൻസർ പറയാൻ പറ്റിയ എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര സന്തോഷമായിരിക്കും.
ഭയങ്കര ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട്. I should know നിങ്ങളെ ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് എന്താ, നിങ്ങളെ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ്, നിങ്ങൾ വേറെ എന്തൊക്കെയാ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് ഉള്ളത് എല്ലാം സ്റ്റഡി ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ലേ പറയാൻ പറ്റും. ഐ ക്യാൻ ഗിവ് യു മൈ പോയിന്റ് ഓഫ് വ്യൂ. ഓക്കെ, ഇപ്പൊ റീജിച്ചിനോട് ചോദിച്ചാൽ അറിയാം, if you go to my house in Kozhikode, it's not even my house. I don't even have a house in Kozhikode. Okay, my father's house. അവിടെ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ it's very easy to tell the direction. അവരോട് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി ആ ഏരിയ പോയിട്ട് ഏറ്റവും ചെറിയ വീട്ടിൽ പോയാൽ മതി പറഞ്ഞാൽ, because all the houses are so big. My house is the smallest one there. So the thing is, we should build a, from my thought process, I will build a house or buy a property and buy a land and build a house only when I retire and go back to Calicut. And I decide to stay back in Calicut. If I decide to stay not in Calicut, in Palakkad, like my wife's house is in Palakkad. So if I decide to settle there, only then I'm going to buy a land and build a house for it. I'm not going to build a house when I'm staying here. Okay, yes. Very clear about it. എനിക്ക് ഇപ്പം എൻ്റെ ഇവിടെ കൊളീഗ്സിനോടൊക്കെ സംസാരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവർ പറയും അയ്യോ നാട്ടിൽ പോയ ഒരു വീട് വേണ്ടേ. ബട്ട് വൈ? ഐ ഡോണ്ട് അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് ലൈക്ക് വൈ, ലൈക്ക് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഇറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് റിട്ടയർ ആയി പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മളെ വീട്ടിൽ തന്നെ പോകണം എന്ന് അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു റൂളൊന്നും ഇല്ലല്ലോ. വി ക്യാൻ സ്റ്റേ ഇൻ പാരന്റ്സ് ഹൗസ്, വി ക്യാൻ സ്റ്റേ ഇൻ എ റെന്റഡ് ഹൗസ്. Rent a house for 6 months, build a house, and then go to your house, which will be brand new as per the architectural design at that point of time with the latest gadgets. You go to the house. Why do you want to go to an old house which will be 20 years old when by the time you retire? That's my thought process. Okay, ഇപ്പം നിങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പം കോഴിക്കോട് തന്നെ സെറ്റിൽ ആവുമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു, you're going to stay there, you're going to work there throughout your life, then definitely it makes sense to buy a house there. Okay, but when you buy a house, please take care that don't buy such a huge house that it won't be used. Buy something which is reasonable. Reasonable, you have to decide. If there's a 2-bedroom is reasonable, 3-bedroom is reasonable. Reasonable should not be like somebody else's point of view. It should be your thought. That's the only thing I can say. ബാക്കിയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ I am not the expert to tell you how to do that. But this is just my thought process.
ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ അതിനകത്ത് ഈ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് റേറ്റ് നമ്മുടെ ഇത് നമ്മൾ ലോണൊക്കെ വാങ്ങുമ്പോൾ പലിശകൾ വരുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ.
അതെ അതെ അതെ, അത് പലിശ വന്നാൽ യു നോ ദാറ്റ് നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു പ്രോപ്പർട്ടി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു വലിയ അസറ്റ്, ഒരു വലിയ സംഗതിയിലാണ് പൈസ ഇടുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ യു ആർ പേയിങ് ബാക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ ലോൺ എടുത്ത് അതിന്റെ EMI പലിശ അടയ്ക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ദാറ്റ് യു ആർ റെഡ്യൂസിങ് ഫ്രം യുവർ റിട്ടയർമെന്റ് ക്യാപിറ്റൽ. നിങ്ങൾ റിട്ടയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു കാശ് വേണം. നിങ്ങൾ ജോലിയൊക്കെ തീർന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് റിട്ടയർ ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഫോർ ലിവിങ് യു നീഡ്, I told you how to calculate your retirement costs, right? So this EMI which you're going to pay back to your housing company, that you are reducing from your retirement money. Okay, so think about that in that way. I'm not saying don't buy a house, but buy a reasonable house. Don't buy a huge thing that you cannot afford. Okay, I don't know how much is your income, so I cannot tell you how much you can afford, but you know how much you can afford. So,
even I am in agreement with Arun sir. What is happening is, nammal oru Kerala culture endu vecha, we have to have one big house, and if you see most of the people vayasambam avarum only the oldies are there. Children are not there. Children would have flown away somewhere and they will be settling in some other place, and you have this huge house. And I've seen some of my relatives, huge house, and because they are sick, they are sitting in one room with the husband also lying on a hospital bed with tubes and all running, and this lady cannot even move around. She's on a walker, and all her things are in that room, like even the cooking utensils and things. She is confined to that room, and maintenance of that house is so difficult. So when I saw that, I said, nothing doing. What I can manage when I'm old, that sort of house is only what I require. And even when I invested, I was in the Gulf, so when I invested, I didn't invest in one big place. Small places which if I require some time, I can sell it and some buyer will be there. If I invest in if I put all my earnings into one big house, and then I'm in trouble, I won't get a buyer for that house. If it's in 2 crores, 3 crores, how many people can afford that 2 crores, 3 crores? So long term, when I thought this, without all this knowledge, when I was seeing things around me, I felt that way. So that was how I invested. So if you ask someone, I have bought a small house here in Kozhikode. They say, the doctor would know. And doctor was in the Gulf. I said, that is enough. This I'm planning for my old age. When I am alone or only my husband and me are there, how can I manage a big house?
And Vijay, going forward, maybe when I think about coming back to Kerala, I may think about taking a property in this like a retirement villas. There are now a lot of communities coming up where you have retirement villas. Like it's a luxury thing where you have medical facility, you have retired people community there. I may take a house there. Why should I build a house in center of nothing and nobody there to talk to also, right? I may think that way. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud, right? So it all depends. Like house is not something which I have to own and pass it on to my child. I can
children nowadays
I can pass on shares also, right?
No, children nowadays, they don't want our old houses.
They don't want house.
They don't want our old houses. They want their own. They want to do their way. They don't want ours. So they say, why are you saving for us and keeping it? No need.
Exactly.
And so what I have bought is a house which are near these people's houses. So that someone, at least my cousin, will be there to see if I'm sick or someone. Because children are far away. You can't blame them also. They have to look after their lives. Absolutely. They will be invested somewhere in some other country also. So they may not be able to come to you and help you when you require. So we cannot depend on our, like olden times, our children will look after us. That's an old concept is what I feel now. So we have to plan our retirement. So what Arun, Arun sir. What you have said, it really affected my thinking, and I am in that, but I've been investing too much in insurances, which I feel now is a big because now I'm not working. So then paying those premiums is huge, and there's a lock-in period, and then when I look at what will I get from it, it doesn't match how I have been thinking about it. So all these things made sense to me. So thank you, Arun sir, for this.
Arun sir, thank you. ഇതൊരു വലിയ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആണ്, നമ്മളൊക്കെ പഠിക്കുകയാണ് സാർ ഇപ്പൊ